Alright, so I originally wasn't going to do this video. I originally wanted to do my best to work with the company that I'm now extremely mad at. I'm also going to try and keep the language to a minimum. Well, the foul language anyway. Because anyone who knows me knows that when I get really angry, I tend to lose control of my vocabulary. And I am an otherwise very articulate kind of guy. So several weeks ago, I had an incident with one of my food ordering services. And I might as well go ahead and name them anyway. It's DoorDash. You're going to see the name anyway coming up. So there's no sense in beating around the bush about it. DoorDash, you've really disappointed me. I've been a loyal customer. And I've helped sign up a few people on your platform. My girlfriend being one of them. Several weeks ago, my account was hacked into. And it took me 12 hours to get a hold of anybody in support that could actually help me. Over $1,100 was spent. Now, my parents aren't exactly the most technologically. They don't really know how to use their smartphones, and they refuse to learn. So, when they want food ordered for their house, they usually call me because I'm usually home during the evenings. So, I have my mom's card tied to my account. Well, it's set as the default because I usually don't order food for myself. Usually I'm already out on DoorDash or even another delivery service like Instacart or Shipt, depending on how things are going. So my mom's card is the default because it's really all I use DoorDash for is my mom and dad's food orders. So somebody hacked into my account. They created a copy of my email address with one minor change, and that's they put a dot in there somewhere. They changed my password. They did not change my phone number, so I was still getting notifications every single time they kept ordering food. So I spent 12 hours on a Saturday trying to get this figured out, trying to get this resolved. And the thing that pissed me off the most is when I tell somebody my account's been hacked, that usually means that they've changed some information on your account. When your account is hacked, the hacker is going to change some information. And if you guys are seeing some sort of flickering going on with my camera, I have no idea what's going on. I'm dealing with it right now. But they didn't take that into account, and they kept sending the password reset email to the altered email address. Now, what really bugs me is that I had to call back and tell them, hey, you have to change the email address on my account so I can actually change my password. They said, okay, what is the email address? And I gave it to them the second time. Both times I had to give it to them. But the second time is where I told them, this is the email address you need to send it to. They said, okay, we sent it. They ended up, hanging up on me. And then 15 minutes later, I still hadn't received it. So I got on chat this time. The live chat. And I said, here's the incident number. You need to send the password reset email to this email address. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it. And he asked for several minutes to look over everything on the incident report. I said, fine, take your time. I need to get this resolved accurately because I also need to get the money back that was spent. He says, okay, is this the correct email? And he spells out the email address that was altered, the one with the period in it. I said, no, this is why I'm not getting them, and this is why I'm so angry right now, because I've given, the two previous people the correct email address. And he says, I understand, we're going to work on it. 15 minutes later, he comes back and says, we've got it changed. We're sending the email now. As soon as you get it, go ahead and change your email address. And this is where I'm going to shamelessly plug an app that I'm not sponsored by at all, but it's called KeePass. K-E-E Pass. Alright? This app is wonderful. You can set... I just realized my camera's looking backwards right now. I don't know how it's going to come through on the actual video. But KeePass has a password generator, and you can get up to 256-bit passwords using it. So I generated a new password using KeePass based on DoorDash's password requirements and got it changed. I haven't had an issue since. However, after about 5 days, I went back and said, hey, here's the incident report. Can you please tell me where we are with getting my money back? Or, more accurately, my mom's money back. Because it was all her account. And they said, oh, well, can we take the time to look over the incident report? And I said, sure. Whatever it takes to get this resolved. Because this is $1,100. Plus. More like 15, but I'm tired of doing the math. I never wrote it down. And just so you guys can see, this is the folder that I downloaded all the receipts to. There's 21 items there. 21 receipts of orders that I did not... I didn't authorize. Nobody authorized it. And even my mom's bank is saying, oh, well, these all look legit. We're telling you they're not legit. And that's the other thing. I'm also calling out GTE Financial on this one. Because you have all the evidence you need. If you look at these receipts, I'm going to open up a couple of them. Maybe a few so you can see why this this should not be considered legit at all. Sorry, I'm also getting there we go. Do not disturb. Maybe that'll stop the banners and noises coming through. But here's one from VV Bubble Tea in New Haven, Connecticut. All right. And on principle, I don't order from Chick-fil-A at all. But here's one from Chick-fil-A in Fairfax, Virginia. I don't know anybody in Connecticut. I don't know anybody in Virginia as far as I know. Here's one from Blend in Long Island City, New York. I do know somebody in New York, but not Long Island City. They live, I think, in New York City. And here's another one in New York, Asuka Sushi. Now, that one's actually in New York, but I didn't order it. These are not my orders. So, after getting in touch with live chat on DoorDash and telling them, look, the last time I made an order on DoorDash was in May, and now all of a sudden on June 25th I have 20 some odd orders. No, not for $1,500. They said, okay, we are moving this up the chain. We're gonna get this figured out. 5 seconds after they ended the chat, I get an email saying, these are legitimate. These are legitimate orders that your account made. We're not responsible for them. Now, I've since responded and told them, no, these are not legitimate. These might be paid for, but we did not authorize them. My account was hacked. It's all in the incident report. And their response was, we understand your frustration, but there's nothing that we can do. And the same goes for my mom's bank. Now, in order for me to go to the police about this, I have to show that the bank sees these as fraudulent charges by having a letter from the bank stating that these are fraudulent charges. But the bank isn't seeing it as fraudulent. So, am I supposed to just see these and say, you know what, guys, you spent $1,500 of my mother's money that should have gone to her mortgage, should have gone to her bills, her gas, so she can get to and from work so you guys can spend even more of her money? I need somebody to do better. Now, Google has something, and this is where I'm going to do my best to help other people out. Google has what is it called? You know what, let's do this. Where are you, XSplit? Going to add in my Google Chrome. And let's see if we can't figure this out, because under autofill, yes, they have a password checker, and they tell you which of your passwords are compromised. It's under settings. Here, I'll go through it again just in case I went a little too fast. So, from a brand new window, or even under an already existing window, if you go to the little triple dot, or somebody else called it hamburger menu, it doesn't really look like a hamburger to me, but go down to settings, then go over to autofill, go to passwords, and check passwords. It will tell you which of your passwords are compromised. Now, obviously, there are some that you don't need to change. I mean, if this is your, router's address, which for anyone on Xfinity it's going to be, yes, you'll want to change it. But usually for things in home, like your computer's password, you don't really need to change your PC's password, unless for some reason you've got a hacker that's really just out to get you. Again, 192.168.1.1 or 0.1, or even this 100.1. You don't really need to change those. 192.168.254.254. Frontier's password. You don't really need to worry about your router's password. I mean, yes, go ahead and change it, because the default password is, everyone knows it. And if somehow they do remote into your router, it's going to be fair game from there. But definitely download KeePass. I'll leave a link in the description below. That'll help you secure all of your accounts. And make sure you guys don't have happen to you what happened to me, and I'm finding out several other people on multiple platforms. It's not just DoorDash. I've also heard of it on Instacart, on Shipt, on Uber. Make sure you guys are getting the best passwords possible. You can also use Google Chrome's password suggestion. When you go to sign up for an account on anything, it usually pops up, and it usually says use suggested password. If you guys change your... Sorry, everything's going off right now. If you guys are having Chrome save your... Come on. Save your passwords, make sure your Google account password is secure as well. Don't, stay away from repeating letters, numbers, repeating characters in general. Stay away from easily guessed phrases. I don't know if Xfinity still has it, but they used to have a document on what something called CPNI is. And that's Customer Proprietary Network Information. That's stuff that can't be easily guessed. Stuff that is not, out there as public knowledge. Don't use phone numbers. Don't try not to use birthdays. I know that's very easy to do when you're coming up with pins. I try and stay away from birthdays. If it is a birthday, it's going to be something that you cannot generally find online without a bit of digging. Don't use phrases. And I think that's honestly about it. Yeah, definitely check out KeyPass. It's already been a lifesaver because somebody else, I'm assuming it's somebody else, had already tried to log into another one of my accounts, which I had gone through and locked down about 30 of my mostly used accounts using the KeyPass password generator, and I had already gotten a couple of alerts that somebody was trying to log into my account with a previously used password. So make sure you get your accounts locked down and secured, and KeyPass or Google Chrome's password generator is going to be your best friend with this. And DoorDash, again, do better. Like, I've been hounding you guys several times, and I'm tired of it. That's why I'm doing this video.